Morning, all. I've opted to start off today with Seattle, and I'm wearing Whalers gear because this is kind of what the Carolina Hurricanes look like they're going to be wearing for their reverse retros. They revealed today, pucky on the shoulder, which means you might get a blue W, and maybe the fin will be green because it's supposed to be reverse, right? So maybe where the stripes are blue, they'll be green. Where they're green, they'll be blue, and of course, one solid color on the neck. There you go. You got your reverse retro. So they'll be wearing Whalers. Of course, immediately somebody's like, "You're not the Whalers." Nobody's the Whalers. Let them pretend they're the Whalers every now and then. It's nice to see Whalers gear, but they know they're not the Whalers. Anyhow, who might the Whalers lose in the expansion draft? Notice I didn't put a Whalers logo on the board. That would just have thrown everybody completely off. Doing like, wait, did somebody move and we didn't hear about it? So for Carolina, their protection list is interesting, and then who might be exposed is interesting, and they're going to have some decisions to make because Jesper Fast would be an immediate for Seattle, and I understand that, but Stahl has a no movement clause. Now it's possible he waives it and gets exposed, and this is the thing too. I know yesterday a lot of people said, well, Lucic will waive because he'll waive. But they don't always waive. We assumed that going into the last expansion, and then Dion Phaneuf went, I'm good. I'm not waiving it. And so we can't assume that a player is going to waive their no movement clause. Can't be assumed at all. Sebastian Aho, I have a feeling they'll protect him. Teravainen. Trocheck, I think, gets protected. I could see Trocheck, if he has a poor season, being exposed and Fast being protected. Dzingel, Fogle, I think Fogle gets protected as well. I have Geeky here. I don't think Geeky gets taken. I know there's going to be Carolina fans say, oh, he'd be automatic. I don't think so. And honestly, if you told Don Waddell, so for Seattle next year, you're going to lose Morgan Geeky, I think he'd say, okay, that's acceptable. And of course, Svechnikov. They're not going to avoid protecting Svechnikov. Now on the blue line, you've got Dougie Hamilton, Jacob Slavin, and Brett Pesce. I think that's just a no-brainer that those are your three defensemen, which would leave Shea, Gardner, and Fleury exposed. And up front, of course, Niederreiter with Fast, Martinook, McGinn, and Geeky. And then in net, Mrazek would get protected, I think. Now, I know he's a 2021 UFA. I know this. But so's Reimer. So look for an extension to be added to one of these guys before the end of the year with the idea of putting him out there for the expansion draft. Maybe. I would not be surprised. And remember, there are certain exposure requirements that need to be met. Now, if I'm Carolina, if I'm Don Waddell, and I'm like, hey, so Ron Francis, can you do us a favor? And Niederreiter's that favor. Can you please take Niederreiter? We'll throw in, and then you throw in another player to get Niederreiter's contract off. I don't think that happens, though. In fact, again, I think Fast, if they're going to protect him, they probably leave Dzingel exposed, and then Ryan Dzingel probably goes to Seattle. So again, this isn't necessarily 100% prediction. It's probably because they did sign Dzingel to that contract, and I think they're still high on him. And Trocheck, of course, they just got. So yeah, the forward group I think is pretty set. But it is interesting because it shows there's a lot of depth in Carolina. So if you're a Canes fan and you want something to lean on, your team has a lot of depth, especially on the blue line. Hayden Fleury under the radar could be an excellent pickup for Seattle. He's cheap, it's a defenseman, and he's young. So there's three reasons that they may very well, even if Jesper Fast was exposed, take a look at Hayden Fleury and go, yeah, no, that's our pick. Gardner's too expensive, and Shea, I don't know, maybe you take Shea, but for me, I'd probably take Fleury. But again, it shows there will be some good goaltenders available. Yesterday we had David Riddick for the Flames. Today we have James Reimer from Carolina. And it's going to be interesting to see who they take. So there you go. Let me know your choice in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.